Hey there! So if you've ever wrangled data in C++, you know that looping through stuff is something you do all the time. But here's a question. Are you doing it the smartest way possible? Today, we're going to dive into how to loop through C++ arrays like a pro.
Just imagine for a second. You've got this list, maybe it's 100 students or 100 different prices, whatever. And you need to do something to every single one of them. I mean, you're not going to write 100 separate lines of code, right? Of course not. That would be insane. This is exactly the kind of problem loops were born to solve. Okay, so before we get into the loops, let's do a super quick refresh on arrays. Think of an array as a big container, kind of like a parking garage. It holds a bunch of values, and each value gets its own numbered spot, which we call an index. The one big rule? Everything you park in there has to be the same type. You can't stick a number in a spot that's meant for a word. And here's what that looks like in actual code. See? We've got an array of strings called students, and we've put 3 names in it. SpongeBob is in the first spot, index 0, Patrick is in index 1, and Squidward is in index 2. Pretty straightforward. So, how do we get the computer to visit each one for us?
Well, the classic tool for the job is your standard for loop. We make a counter, usually called I, and start it at 0. We tell it to keep running as long as I is less than 3. And after every trip through the loop, we add 1 to I. This works perfectly fine, for now. But do you see the problem? There's a ticking time bomb in this code.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We hard-coded that number 3 right into our loop. What happens if we add Sandy to our students array? Well, our loop is still going to stop at 3, and it'll never even see her. We'd have to go back and manually change the code every single time. And trust me, that's just asking for bugs and headaches.
So, how do we make our loops smarter? The answer is a really clever little C++ tool called the sizeof operator. Now, here's the interesting part. Sizeof doesn't tell you how many items are in the array. Nope. It tells you how much space that array takes up in memory, and it measures it in bytes.
And that leads us to this super useful formula. Here's the trick. If we know the total size of the entire array in bytes, and we can also find out the size of just one element in bytes, well, we can just divide the big number by the little number, and boom, that gives you the exact count of elements. It's so simple, but so powerful, and it will always be right, no matter how big or small the array gets. All right, let's put it all together and build a better loop. We're going to take that fragile, hard-coded 3 and replace it with our dynamic sizeof formula. Size of students gets the total bytes, and we divide it by the size of a single student string. And just like that, our loop is now totally robust. You can add 20 more students if you want. The loop will just know. It adapts automatically. You never have to touch this line of code again. But hold on, it gets even better. For those times when all you need to do is go through every single item from start to finish, C++ has an even cleaner, more modern way to do it. It's called the for-each loop, and it's designed to make your life a whole lot easier.
Just look at the difference here. On the left is our awesome, robust for loop. It's great, but you have to admit, there's a bit of setup involved. Now look at the right, the for-each loop. It almost reads like a sentence, doesn't it? For each string, let's call it student, inside the student's array, do this. It's so much cleaner and makes it obvious what you're trying to do.
But, as with most things, that simplicity comes with a trade-off. A for-each loop is basically a one-way street. It always starts at the beginning, goes to the very end, and hits every single spot along the way. But what if you need to loop backward, or skip every other element? Or what if you actually need to know the index number? Yeah, you can't do any of that with a for-each loop.
And that really brings us to the most important point. It's all about picking the right tool for the right job. The standard for loop, that's your powerful, all-purpose multi-tool. It gives you total control, which you absolutely need for complex situations. The for-each loop, on the other hand, is like a specialized tool. It does one thing, simple forward traversal, and it does it perfectly.
So let's just wrap it up. When you need that dynamic sizing and total flexibility, you're going to use the standard for loop with that sizeof trick. But when you just want to do a clean, simple, start-to-finish read-through of your data, the for-each loop is definitely your go-to. Just think about what you need to do and pick the one that fits best.
And there you have it. You're now armed with 2 really powerful ways to loop through arrays in C++. You can officially move past those brittle, hard-coded loops and start writing code that's more robust, way more adaptable, and honestly just easier to read. The only question left is, what are you going to build first? Thanks for tuning in.